Okay, so that side's crawling a little. Both sides are crawling a little bit, so I'm quite sure what the deal is. See if it'll go. We'll run for a sec. Gonna run out of battery. Come on, you can do it. Ah! Kill it. Awesome. Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, we're going to continue on this early 80s skid steer basket case that I bought quite a while ago. It has had I'd say a bit of a rough life. Originally started out as a gas engine powered machine. Apparently that engine failed. Somebody put a small tiny diesel in it. That engine failed, and here it comes up to us, and we got an engine out of this machine, this old mower system for like a golf course of sorts. We had like 700 something hours on it, but the machine was really beat. So on the last video, we took that engine out of there, made up motor mounts, and got it installed and connected to the pump. We fired it up on whatever fuel was still in it, and it slowly turned the tires on the side for about 10 seconds until it died. And that's where we left off. So we're going to continue on from there. Engine's got to come back out anyway, because those motor mounts have to get welded from the back and all. We just kind of like mocked them up in their place. We have no cooling system, we have no exhaust, we have no linkage for the throttle, and we don't have any wiring whatsoever. Hopefully by the end of this video we could actually put this thing down on the ground and have it move around on its own power. That is what I'm shooting for. Let's go see what we get. All right, let's start with, I'm gonna go grab the alternator and the belt and the brackets. We'll put that back on, and maybe we'll look into the exhaust. We have to figure out where that's gonna pop out and exit out of the machine, and we'll kind of work our way back. There's our first decision. So the one on the left is the one that came with the engine that we are putting in, and the one on the right was the alternator that was the small Kubota, but was already wired to what they had wired in there. This one has like a 4-plug, plus the power out. It's got a 4-plug terminal on the end of it, and this one they just used one probably just for the field, to excite the field, and then the power wire coming out of there. They look fairly similar. I'll definitely say the pulley's a little bit larger on that one. See, that's apples to apples, it like that, right? I don't think the bracketry is going to fit very well on that. Let's go with the original one on this engine. If we have a problem wiring with it later, we'll chase that, but this may keep the fabrication a little bit more simple. That's pretty straightforward. Got that, just all the original stuff right back on it again. So start looking into the exhaust. That unfortunately is not going to be the same scenario, because if we were to bolt that up to the way it is, it's going to be shooting at my ass in the seat. So let's go break the connection right there from the manifold. We'll stick the manifold on there, and possibly maybe we can change the orientation. It's like a full 4-bolt flange. I don't think there's going to be enough room to flip it like this though, but we got to figure out. They originally had it from the other engine. They punched a hole right here and had the exhaust come up out of it. I almost think they took the muffler, and I think they had it sitting up out here, but let's go see. Let's go get that broken apart, hopefully without too much effort. Nothing says we have to use this muffler neither, but see if we can get that apart. Yeah, because they're just going to crack right loose. This is, for the most part, doing nothing, because unless you let it soak for about 3 weeks. See if they do though. I would say we go with heat. Make it flame pretty good. Move the light. See if we can get it without glowing it red. Yeah, good. Should probably take a wire wheel and clean the crap off their threads. I'll do that on the other three. Is the whole stud coming out? No. Alright, let me go deal with the other three. We'll bring that muffler over. We had a casualty, my first one on the project. Busted a stud. They had it coming. Clean up your act. Yeah, just gonna let that claim its spot. So you get one bolt in it just to hold it. We're just mocking it. Again, we got to pull this engine out, so we're just kind of making everything name its place. Then we'll finalize it. Alright, so if we come straight up from that, I don't think we're going to be able to use the muffler the way it is. Let me go grab the muffler. If we were to spin it around, I don't think we're going to have enough. Yeah, no way enough room. Maybe if we mount it on top and out of the machine, up top somewhere, that way the heat also doesn't get generated in the engine compartment. Just have to watch out that it doesn't get smacked on stuff too. They have the air filter up there, that's what that is. So we don't want it kind of sucking air. What do we line up with? Anything? Looks like it's going to be touching the radiator if we went straight up. That's for the hydraulics cooling. But if we were able to get a pipe right here, we can cut that flange off, bolt that down there, and then come up. I wonder if I have, you know that flex pipe? I think I might have some. I'm gonna go check. Because I've got a roll of it somewhere. I'm not sure what diameter it is though. Because that would be good because the engine's gonna move on its motor mounts a little bit, and if we were able to make something that has a little bit of give to it. I thought it was over here. This stuff right here. It looks a little small though. Let's go grab a caliper, see what size that is. We'll actually be close. Let's go throw it over the tailpipe. Should be the same diameter, right? Close to it. It's like the same size. Murphy's Law. Yeah, same size. We can go hunt around. Maybe we could always have it fixed pipe, but again, it has to have a little bit of room, or else it be able to wiggle, or else it's just going to keep cracking the pipe. Have it go on the inside, right? Let's see if they're even the same. I think so. And that is one. It looks like 1.5. A hair under 1.5. No. 1.4. What would 1.4 be in inches? Let me go do a little bit of shopping, see if I can go find anything that would fit over that. It's got some flex to it. So what do you think our chances are if we were to take an exhaust expander? See if this one goes small enough. Think this stuff will stretch out, or you think it's just going to go like a spring and go poing? Go try it out. Think maybe we get like an impact gun on it. Oh, they can't get it back out. What do you think the outcome's going to be? I would think possibly it would kind of like uncurl itself. It's a good idea to grab my hands. Let's go try it. Because if you figure it uncurls, it's going to get wider, right? Let's, uh-oh. Never to be seen again. Let's, it seems like it mushroom did it. It looks like right here is fatter. This looks like it's almost the same though. I got the gauge right here. So this would have to fit. Let's try backing it out a little bit. Let's try it like right there. Watch, that thing's like a razor blade on the end. Why don't you put gloves on? Okay, I will. Fine. Looks better. Getting close. Let's go hit it 1 or 2 more times. What size fits most? Well, it's looking pretty close. So go grab the muffler itself and see if that'll fit in there. Going in dry. Oh, it's like right there. Let's work on that a little bit more. As long as it doesn't take away from the integrity, I'm just, you know, it'd be suck if we get all together and this stuff just falls apart. I'm not quite sure, you know, how it locks into each other. Let's go run it home. Got my glove. That's about all it has. Come on. Yeah. It's gonna stay together though. Almost right there. Looks like here's got it. I'm just afraid it's just gonna, by the time we're done though, it's gonna leak like a sieve. This is a bigger one. Will it fit now? No. Kind of maxed out on the. Yeah, it broke. It split it. Well, let's see if that's enough to work for us. Should, right? Oh yeah. She's taking it all. I think we just go pick those outer 2 rings right off of there. Then we got to cut it because it's going to keep uncurling. It's just a big spring, you know. Let's go nip that. Get rid of that sharp edge. Who's your daddy? Awesome. Let's take this flange, and we need enough meat to catch on both of them. Let's go cut it right in the middle. So we go for right about. Go clean them up on those edges and we'll see how that fits. There's the tail. Come on. Yep. Ha! All right, let's go put this on the exhaust manifold and we'll roll the pipe over, kind of see where we can kind of steer it up through. I'm gonna try my best not to keep chopping holes in the top of somebody else's done. That looks like it's gonna come out, and we are straight above it, like right here. So I don't see being a problem. I don't think we're gonna go cook the oil cooler too much, as long as we get the muffler up and away from it. Let's get rid of this air cleaner. We may set that up in a different location. I'm not sure what it's got. I don't think that's the correct one anyway. I think somebody may have put that there. And I think it looks like there's only one bolt holding it. We'll get that out of our way. Good. We're in. More room. Yeah. Let's go plop that muffler up there and see if there's any kind of orientation. Can we run it backwards? Can we feed it in through the out? That's gonna get hit there though. I kind of want to lay it down. Yeah, it would have to be something like that, right? We don't have room to kick it. You don't want it sucking its own exhaust back in neither, so we got to kind of, I don't know, what's the muffle on a regular skid steer look like? I wonder if we could do that, and maybe we can take the tailpipe and we could run one backwards. Let's go see what we got. Possibly we have another muffler of any kind. I don't think so. Anything that'll run that horsepower, but let's go see. We need some elbow metal too. So if we see anything that's got like that, but maybe a little sharper bend to it. There's that muffler right there. That's a weird one, huh? Grab that. We get fancy. Put a super trap on it. Most of that's gonna be motorcycle stuff. Keep an eye out for elbows too. Get that round piece. Cut something out of that if we need to. Take a quick look upstairs. There might be a couple of like lawn tractor mufflers. Oh, sure, you let me walk right by that one. That's like a good. That's about the right diameter too. Grab that. Anything else in there? Oh, that little snazzy piece of pipe got a little flex jobber on it and everything. Uh-oh. Like, get for not looking soon enough. We'll keep that in mind. With that, actually, if we flip that whole thing over, because that's for a Honda generator, I think. So I don't know the condition. That's for a video in the future. Let's go. We gotta dig that out just in case it works for us. There it is, all dug out. So if we were to use that, right, we would bring it up and twist it. The pipe would drop down. I don't know if we can get it down and try to make the turn there. Or is the offset enough we can get it here? Probably when the exhaust is, especially on like a skid steer, especially on a skid steer, because you can't see what you're doing. You know, with the back side of it, you're backing it into brush, and the brush grabs on the exhaust and it, rips it off. So I'm trying to keep it, a little bit out of harm's way. Let's I don't know which one's gonna be better, just working what we got, or if that's gonna be, that little flex joint in there. We'll keep that other one as a backup plan. We'll keep moving forward with the muffler that was on it. I'm thinking maybe something like that, and then we can cut the tailpipe off and we'll route the exhaust out in this corner somewhere. Also go up to a little flapper on it if we want to. Let's go. I need to mount it. So we got one mounting point right there. We can just come off with a bracket to that. And can we do the same? There's a hole there. I don't know if we're gonna be able to access to it. We got the tilt for the cab in the way. I don't know if we can get a bolt behind that. All right, let's see. I'm gonna cut a section of flex pipe. And again, we got plenty to play with, so in case I screwed up, we'll just make another one. I'm gonna go measure that out. We'll make a flex pipe going up to there. We'll see how things kind of line up heat-wise. I think we are okay. And again, the air cleaner, I wanna say, sat originally right here, so maybe we can put the stock one back on it. If not, we'll relocate that, possibly maybe over to this side if we have to, and run down through that hole for the intake. Let's go with a fat 16. Oh, I wish. Let's try a cutting wheel, see if that might be a better option. Not much to it. Cut like butter. See if we can open that end up now. Just the tip. Don't need to go all the way in. Work that a couple times. We'll get it. That's pretty good. Let's go cut that tailpipe off and see if we can put a curve on it. We could shorten this up too. Try to get a muffler facing backwards, roughly in this direction. I think that should be decent. We can always lengthen this too, however we decide to let it get the exhaust get away from the machine. I don't know about that. If we do that, we're going to need like a flapper for the top. I don't even know if they can always make one. One small enough. Plus, there's no window in it. The cab's open. I don't know if I want to be sucking that in. I wonder if maybe we should shoot it backwards. It might be our best bet. All right, cut that off, trim that up. Got those pieces to go on there. That's something like that. I was going to open it up. I noticed how much Swiss cheese that is. So I'm going to go, probably, I'll put a couple of slices in here. We'll just reduce this a little bit. We'll try to hammer this on until we get all the way up to that meat, and we'll weld to that. You'll clean those surfaces up. We'll just leave that loose for now. Wherever its final resting spot is, we'll give it a tack. Well, I think we can go with that for now. I don't see any issues. There's not much room that the motor has to be able to rock, but that should be okay. Plenty of room around it. I think we're further enough. Air's going to be flowing out of here, not in, because the fan's going to be drawing in. If we have an issue with the exhaust, we could always extend this a little bit, because this is going to get all sooty, of course. But I think maybe we'll go for it right there. I'm going to make a bracket off of here to here to support that, and maybe we use these. See what I can come up with. I'll bring you back after that's done. Try to move things along a little bit. Maybe like a exhaust clamp going around and weld the bracket. We'll see. Looks pretty good, it's just tacked, but that should be a good place for it. The motor's got room to wiggle. What do you want to screw around with next? Let's go work on the throttle. Here's the original coming up to a bracket. We only need to go to attach to here. And we might have to do a little bit of tweaking. We gotta get around that linkage up there. Looks like somebody actually welded something already. If we were to cut that off right there, would that work? Yeah, we still got to bend the linkage back there to clear the... So, let's go which way does the throttle work. Alright, so it's got to... So that's full throttle. And that's idle. Is that opposite? Should we just call opposite of what it is? So it's that red lever right now is all the way forward. I'm looking at that one right there. All the way forward I would think is full throttle, right? Is your norm. And where is it? So that's full throttle. And we're at idle right now. Opposite what, so we're gonna have to go call idle full throttle idle. That'll work for us. Let's go get this cut off of it and we'll start probably heating up that linkage. Let's get a light. Don't mind the background noise. There's the furnace kicking in. Alright, so right now it's at idle. This is at idle, and full throttle is like that, right? So full throttle, idle, it's opposite. So that's full throttle. If we were to connect it to the bottom, would that kind of play well? It would. You don't think it'd be that easy, do you? You don't think that we can unbolt this barrel? No, because we need, this is the, well, we're actually wrapping, this is just a pivot point. If we were to drill a hole, is there room? Let's get this thing unbolted from here. Try to think, do we need this at all? I think the only purpose it really serves is the idle speed for the stop screw. I don't think it does really much anything else besides that, does it? I also see one down here, but I think this is for full throttle. If you want to look down here. Yeah, that one's probably going to be our full throttle, and the top ones are idle. Let's get this unbolted for now, and let's loosen some of this stuff up so it's adjustable. I don't know if that is threaded on there. It looks like it's got a half-ass screw stuck on there. We're gonna always cut everything off and start over, but let's see if that's threaded on there, if that's just pinched. Yeah, that's just pinched to one location on there. Let's get rid of this. Kind of wonder if we might be better off just cutting all this crap off and starting over. Because I think we're going to have to heat that linkage bar up that's up there. Anyway, let's see. That'd be clear. Then make like a double junction for that. What's the throw of it too? So we have that much travel. This has much more. We could probably drop down below it maybe. The other part too, it only wants to go over so far. Let's go grab the air cleaner assembly. I have a feeling it kind of sits up in this area. Let's just ballpark where that's going to go. Maybe we can kind of work with the two of them together. We also have the dipstick right here to be able to grab. I grab the air cleaner, see what space it's going to command. There's the boot that's off of it where the original one is. We can get like probably a piece of it, radiator hose, heater hose. Try to get it maybe right about here, or we can hang it from the top. Should be, tuck it in a little more, because we got the radiator hose coming out of here, and a lower's fine, or upper might be in the way a little bit. Let me turn it. Can we do something like that's pretty tight, huh? Might be able to get that right in there, right about there. Not going to get the oil filter in it though. Oil fill. Can we go down low? Can we try to? Is there anything special about a diesel air cleaner compared to a regular one? Just think if we go smaller with it or not. All right, let's continue with the linkage. I don't think that's going to be an issue where we're trying to work. We're not going to put any air cleaner stuff right here. So let's get that claimed as far as its location is. So I keep confusing myself on the linkage the more I kind of look at it. I was dancing back and forth. I was like, well, we can get rid of everything up top and we could put a stop here for the idle and not worry about this top linkage, but it actually does make it backwards because that right now is idle and that's full throttle. So that's idle and that's full throttle. So this just has to move with that top linkage and we're good. Again, we're hitting the frame in the back we made, but we'll heat that rod up. Let's go take this hardware out and see what we can marry together on these two. See what cooperates well for making something attached to that, even if it's maybe this pivot we could use over. I got all the crap off the end of that. So this, I'd like to attach to there, but can't get it up high enough. Let's go see if we can persuade that a little. If the end breaks off, so be it. But let's just see what happens if it'll want to play well. It's much better. We clear. Let's go give it, because we're like right near it. It does move forward, so it does come out of the window. But let's go give it just a hair more. This is where it snaps, right? Yeah, overdo it. There we go. Good. Wonder if there's a way we can get it where it wants to relax over. Actually, when we take this, let's go bend this just a hair this way to help split that difference. You agree? No? Just seems like it's rubbing out a bunch of crap. If I can get in with a torch and heat it, would be better. Let's while we're bending, right? Let's see if we can give her a better influence to get us. It might be good. I'm gonna eyeball, see if it's rubbing on anything up front. I got a 2x4 back on the end of this rod, so I got from back here to kick out. Now we just got to make it so that this end tweaks in some. So let's go throw some heat on that and see if we can influence that straight. If it breaks off, we'll weld something else on. If it stays, we'll use what we got. I got another pipe to put on it too, so let's go give her heat right on that knuckle right there. That good? You touch it. Yeah, actually, let's go. We can probably go back just a hair. And she'll line right up to that barrel just right. Let that cool off for a minute. I'm tired of waiting. Soapy water. Not just for tires anymore. Alright, so the throttle off front is at idle. The handle's all the way back. And we are on idle. And we pull it forward, it goes to full throttle. If we hit the stop, we do. So we got the throttle set up using the other stuff. Kind of greased up the connections and all. Seems pretty decent. Looks like I'm clearing good. I don't see anything rubbing. I see they have this aftermarket cable here. So on the diesel, it's not like you turn the spark plug spark off and the engine just dies. You have to kill fuel on a diesel, and that's what this is down below, I believe, would be our fuel shut off, and that would make it die. And that had, as I have it marked, kill. The end of it's already broken off anyway. That would attach to there. Maybe we'll come up with something different for that, maybe a little bit more stout. This seems kind of wimpy. This is like a choke cable off of a riding lawnmower. And I don't have, it's got like a fairly large hole set up in it. Could we use that over? That'd be too easy now, wouldn't it? We could use that cable if we can be able to get. We could drill it out, put that on there, run the cable through it, and then pinch down on the cable. Well, there you go. I'm gonna have another one of these too. Actually, I think I want to jump over to the cooling system. So let's go make ourselves a little bit of room. I got the radiator that was, I bought the wrong one for the Econoline. The outlets were on the same side, and on that truck, the bottom one's supposed to be the opposite corner. So maybe we could use that over. There will be both on this side. I guess we can kind of work with that. So this will be our upper hose, this is our lower hose. Let's get rid of, we don't need this tab sticking out. We could probably get rid of this bracket. I'm not sure what this was used for before. Get that out of our way. And I also have an electric fan. I think it's in a box behind it. This, I figure, would be the airflow source. I think you can only run them one direction looking at those blades. Let's, it's a decent fit. Yeah, let's go get those two brackets cut off. That one unbolted and this one cut off. And we'll lay it up there, try to figure out where we're going to work with it. So put those bolts back in with the spacers behind them, as long as they don't bottom out. And we'll just throw the hardware right back in. You run it in too far. Yeah, we got it. You see, you're taking out the, punching a hole in the case. I think it's the last bolt. I kind of just run it in gradual just to see if it stops before the washers get tight, like that one. That's not going to work. So I just get another washer for that one. On the bench, the fan didn't come with any instructions as far as, I guess it's probably like universal mount, right? But it came with a bunch of different clips. I'm not quite sure what's going to be what. Springs. And these I can see, they look like they can lock on to any location. And my guess is maybe they want you to take tie wraps and pull them through the cooling fins to hold it in place. And what would you do with the springs? Would they go on this side of it maybe? So I see our tie wraps go through like that. So that you wouldn't think that that spring would sit. Oh, that grate on there, right? You even see like what would be the, I don't think we put it in between the radiator. It also has some of this. Maybe this is just for where, you know, they got little holes in the center. So maybe these go in between. I don't like they're flush though. No matter what you do, the shell is going to be touching the radiator. How about in this location? Yeah, that's where it goes. So that'll sit more flush. The black squishy pad. So that goes in between there with, my guess is that has to be the top because that's what the tie wrap locks into. I'm calling it a tie wrap, it's not a tie wrap. I guess it kind of maintains tension. Let's I wonder if we can do it like temporarily without putting all the stuff on, because I don't think once you get these in there can you even get them apart anymore. It's like a one-time shot. I'm not sure if we're going to need to fudge where that fan goes, you know, like if it's something's going to be in a way, do we want to favor one side a little bit or up in a corner? Let's what can I bridge across that? We can get like a bungee cord or something. Maybe we can kind of wrap around the whole, actually even tape. Let's just tape it to it and we'll see how we like from there and we'll adjust. Actually, let's look at power to it. See what its performance is like. Just in case it's really poor. We go through all this effort for nothing. I was kind of thinking about putting a fan on the water pump pulley. I think it's going to take a lot of room now. What do you think? We'll call blue a hot? I think it'll just spin backwards if we don't have it right. See if we can get that in there without shorting anything out. Alright, maybe we just touch this together. Support it. Actually, it does pretty good. It's not terribly noisy neither. You want to feel the effect? Let me know if this cools you off. let's go try it the other way, and I'll see if we get kind of volume we get going in reverse. My only thought is if we were able to put it on the other side of the radiator. What am I doing? So I want red to black, black to red. Hook those two up. Now it should shove air the other way. Yeah, it's about half the volume. So that's not going to work. We need to kind of have it pull through the radiator. Yeah, having the airflow go that way, the blades just aren't shaped to have the momentum going. All right, let's go tape that to the radiator and bring it over to the machine. Because I'm a professional. A little tight to see in there, but problem is, like, this is already a good inch and a half past the enclosure. The door does have about a 6-inch depth to it. And I'd like to get the radiator cap. That's about as close as we're going to be able to get right there. What if we were to kick it over? Oh, it's to kick it over. Kind of want the radiator cap. Wonder if there's anything I could support this with. I'm going to go grab some mechanics wire and we'll hang it from the fixture. I want to see what happens when we go to close the door. There we go. Now we got it kind of hanging from wires. Good to see what we got going on. So if we were able to, that's the pulley that's being an issue. We can kick that fan more further offset to one side. And the rest of it looks like the fan motor is hitting on the governor case down there. Let's go measure out how far that is. Again, I'm trying to want to make it so we can close that door. Let's look. I'll grab a tape measure. Actually, let's just close the door. I know the radiator is too far our side because the thing's on an angle, but let's just go see what we run into. Yeah. So if it's able to shift over, height is fine. We need to go a good 2 inches at least. Oh, that's going to be tight. Yeah, we got to get about 2 inches over. I want to try to fall into this cavity right here. We could probably, can we go a little lower too? Because this is on a taper going up. So if we can come down a little more, get the cap right around here. Again, we want to be level, at least level with the inlet. I don't want to go much below that, or else we're going to get air pockets that we have to try to bleed. Kind of want the radiator cap higher. Actually, we got a fill bottle too, so it can burp through that. Let's lower it down 2 inches and see if I'm going to disconnect that fan. I'm going to try putting that fan right in this area, and we'll put it back on. So sitting right where it is, it does clear. You know, it's not straight up and down and kind of wonky, and it touches right on the hub, the little nipple on the fan. I wonder, if it came up, I don't have enough room to do it though. You're fighting between clearing that and trying to get that little nub off the pump there, the post of the fan. That's what I was hoping we can kind of put the fan out here, but not going to happen. What if we were to shift it? Maybe we'll try hanging it over on this side. It might be more or less in the way. That belt sits out just about as far. Let's go try kicking it over on the other side, just for shits and giggles, before we commit. If not, we'll work with where it is right there. Because the other part too is then our nozzles, our tubing for our hoses would have to attach, and then I think we're going to be that's going to end up being like right there. I'll just try it. We'll have to jockeying it around a little bit. It's starting to seem like that is going to be the best location for it. You see we're rubbing right up against there. I'll back it off a 1/4 inch so it doesn't touch. And the fan pulley looks like it's got a decent amount of room. And we close the door. It does have to lean on an angle though. It will have to, which is all right. You kind of see right about there. I was thinking about shimming the door out too, but I didn't really want to get into that. This thing's meant to kind of take a hit in the back. We still have to punch a bunch of holes in it for you know, the air to flow through, but I think it's something like that is where we're gonna be. Looks like we get enough room to barely clear that wall. So I say we start making some brackets up. Let's go with, you want to go horizontal or vertical? I'm thinking maybe, what's the shorter distance? It's pretty square, isn't it? I think maybe if we go top to bottom, and we won't have anything going across, we can kind of still be able to get in here. Yeah. You agree? A lot of you are not. I'm going to see what I can dig up. We're going to make it so it's all unboltable too. You know, we can kind of take that out of our way. But I'm going to try to make some bracketry up for each side of it, and we'll tweak it from there. Then we got to take it all apart yet. Weld everything up. And that piece of like, I don't know, it's like 3/4 inch by 1/8 inch steel. Let's try bending that up. We'll give it a... We'll bend it out, like right there. We'll get that one into place. I need to jump this distance. We'll go up and then we'll kick it back to the machine again. Might have to stiffen it up a little too afterwards. It'll be a little tad wobbly. Looks like it follows it pretty good. We can drill a hole, hopefully in the bottom there. That's the thick part, and then up top it should be fairly easy. So I'm gonna go cut it right there. We'll get rid of that. And we can still kind of manipulate it a little bit. We kind of bend it and form it. Worst case, if it is a little on the floppy side, we'll put a piece of metal going this direction to beef it up. But let's go. I kind of want to dial it in before I do that, you know, and get it so we can get it, everything on it and close the door and make sure we're good before we, you know, make it permanized. So let me go cut that off. I think we have enough to go do the other side yet too. That's a little bit better. It's a flinty still. I got to beef it up. You know, I think as long as we can move it around and bend and tweak on it till we get it finally dialed in, I'll take like a another piece of flat bar, weld it to there and there, stiffen it up. Well, it seems like it clears everywhere. I got some movement on it too. No, it doesn't touch, but I have it tweaked to favor the left side there. As far as like what side of the bracket, come on, I'll show you. So if you look at this one, the radiator's on the outside of it, on the other side it's on the inside of it. I can switch them around, tweak the radiator a little bit this way. It is, when I was looking at it, we can get a little bit of room by flipping the fan around. There's a metal clip right there that is not on the other side. So if we rotate the fan around, that won't be there to touch. And something else too I was looking at room. Oh, we can shave this off right here. We don't need this. And that's what gets close to the taper that's on the door right here. Party. Yeah, right there is where it looked like I wanted to touch. So we can get rid of that too. That'll give us, I'd like to get about 3/8 of an inch of room around stuff so as stuff bounces and moves. You know, this machine's it's not like driving a car, you know, this thing's, you're picking stuff up and hammering itself all over the place. So decent. Let's go work on radiator hoses. I think one problem is the lower one, right there, is a different diameter than that. So let's go poke around. Let's go look in the stash of what we took out of it. See if any of this stuff is usable. We might have to make like an intermediate in between. So let's go grab those two hoses, and I think we actually have hoses out of the other engine that we originally took out. Let's go grab all 3 of those, 4 of those, and see if we can make anything. So I went in my scrounge hoard and found like a bunch of like this, you know, the flex pipes that you can kind of go put on. But I found one that has the 2 dimensions that are correct. So the bottom one I think is roughly about a 2-inch diameter, maybe a little less, a little more, and then it goes to 1.5 inch, which is what the engine has on the 2 ports on it. So I went shopping to try to find something that will make the difference between the 2 of them, and I couldn't find anything exact that went all the way down to the bottom, but I did find this piece that we can kind of cut up and make the corner from where this one is grabbing that other one. But we're going to need a coupler to put the 2 of those together. Let's go see if we can find a piece of pipe that'll fit inside there, you know, something that looks something like that. Back to the stash. So we need a piece of pipe, 1.5. And there's a little scrappy pile here. I see some exhaust adapters. What do we got here? Got a hole in it, doesn't help. Could we work around the hole? Oh, stop it. Could we do something like that? And if it's in that far, the hole won't matter. Let's go grab that. Any more of that? Without a hole? Grab that one. We only need the one, I think. Keep that for now. There's another one on the ground. Anybody else want to hop up and say hello? What's that right there? Part of a gym equipment or a trampoline. Will that come out of there? I want to say no. It's got a hole in it. Also. Alright. We got our prize. Let's work with that. That's all too big. I don't care what you say. That's custom right there. Our little metal adapters in the middle. Should be okay. Sometimes it'd be nice if it had a lip on each end so that, you know, if it ever got under really extreme pressure, sometimes the hose wants to blow off. You have like a barb of sorts around it, but it's pretty rough, so I don't think it's going to want to slide off of there like a piece of, you know, like stainless or something. Well, a little bit of coblation has got us complete with hoses all set up. Works pretty good. No clamps on anything yet because we really didn't need it. Lower one seems like it's pretty decent. We got room around the throttle, which is nice. The last thing I would want is that binding up. But we got a good inch and a half around the throttle everywhere. I don't know, is there anything else we need to modify? Again, I still have to beef up these brackets. You know, it's got a little bit of a sloppiness to it. The door seems like it's fine. Closing, we've got to punch holes in the back and everything for cooling. I am going to flip it because it's a little bit of an angle. I have this side on the outside of the bracket and this side on the inside of the bracket. You can see the radiators in the opposite direction. So I'm going to put this one on the outside, bring this radiator out a little bit, and I'm going to trim this edge off. We don't need this. That gives a little bit more room behind it for where the fan is, you know, kind of touching the block right there. And again, we got to rotate that fan so that that little metal bracket isn't in there. I like to make at least a quarter inch of room so that as things kind of move, and this isn't a car going down the road. It's something that's going to be bouncing and banging and picking stuff up and dropping it, and so stuff does kind of shake around a little bit. So I do want to beef that up more than what it is. It looks like we got decent access to everything. If we want to go work on it, we can get to the dipstick. Filters, the oil filters right back there. Injectors, everything's on the top. The hoses we can see. Coolant levels right out in front. Exhaust looks decent. We got that knocked out. I like how that is ending up. We'll see if I end up extending this a little further, maybe to right there, but we'll see what it does. I just don't want it sucking, you know, its own fumes back around again. And plus I don't want to be eating them in the cab neither. Anything else that you see that we need to modify? Big stuff, you know, wiring and all that kind of crap. We can do that on the final. But this engine has to come back out. We got to Loctite those bolts on the drive shaft. We have to weld the motor mounts up on the back side, tighten them up. We could probably cut some of this extra crap off of here, get rid of it that we don't need. We got space for a battery down there. Only one thing is like the air cleaner. We're going to try to figure out where we're going to place that. We could put it up here where it was, But I think after all said and done, we might be able to fit something roughly in this area. And then we'll make it kind of like a easy, and maybe just like hand wing nuts or something that we can get it out of our way. That fuel pump needs to be addressed. That's got a, you know, it's got wire nuts on it. Actually, it's even missing wire nuts. It's not even connected. So, you know, all that stuff we still have to address. I was hoping to get further along than what we did. But it is what it is, right? That's life. Twice as much and twice as long. We got to punch holes in the door yet. We got to cut a hole in the bottom for the drain plug right below it. But we're getting there. Everything is lining up like it like it was meant to be in there, right? So yeah, again, gotta punch more holes, kind of copy this pattern. Maybe we'll go down to right here with a plasma cutter. We'll cut those in, get the airflow going through it. Gotta figure out how to use what to use for a thermal switch for the radiator for the fan to turn on and off. Either that, maybe we just, when you turn the ignition on, it just turns the fan on, kind of thing. Will that hurt us? I don't know. As long as the alternator can keep up, I guess it shouldn't be an issue. Well, guys, again, I would like to have gotten further, but somebody spent a little too much time screwing around. That looks a little different, doesn't it? I'm not filming on that, but that's what happened. I spent a little too much time screwing around with that. All right, guys, with that, unfortunately, I think we still got another one in us, at least, to get this up and moving. At some point, too, I want to make a grapple for the bucket, so you scoop up brush and put brush in a pile, and then you can just kind of, a grapple's a claw that comes down from the top, and you just grab stuff and move it and pull it away. So that's for another day, though. All right, guys, with that, thank y'all for hanging out, doing some wrenching, and hopefully the next time around we got her so she's putting around on the ground. Till then, I'll see you later.